swings, he flips and swings. Through the screen his passion flows. Every chord he plays the magic grows. Feel the rhythm as he strikes the strings. Like a hawk with wings, he flips and swings. Through the screen his passion flows. Every chord he plays the magic grows. Drum the line away with Jon so free. Let the music sweep across the sea. Living loud like TikTok stream. Living out a rock and roll dream. In the chat the fans they clap and cheer. His talent echoing far and near. Notes of wonder fill the space, bringing smiles to every face. With every melody he brings the light, turning darkness into bright. On the stage and screens he
Hey,
stands
what's up, man?
tall. Jon the Wizard answers the call. Strum the night away with Jon so free. Let the music sweep across the sea. Living loud like TikTok stream. Living out a rock and roll dream. In the trap the fans they clap and cheer. His talent echoing far and near.
Oh, sweet.
Notes of wonder fill the space.
Where are you going for your snowboard trip? Real far off or kind of close?
Brings the night, turning darkness into bright. On the stage of screens he stands tall. Jon the Wizard answers the call. Strum the night away with Jon so free. Let the music sweep across the sea. Living loud on TikTok stream. Living out a rock and roll dream. Whoa, whoa,
Ooh, Ontario. I'm into Ontario.
whoa. Living out a rock and roll dream.
Hi, gang. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Here we are, the 29th. Time is ticking away. So as I was setting up the stream, yeah, sure. What's your question? What is that? Cobal? Is that cob? I don't know. Kobasai? Kobasai? Is that Japanese? I don't know. What's your question? As I was coming on tonight, I was setting up the streams for the various platforms, and I had a comment on one of the platforms that said, "You're no wizard. You do this 3-finger pattern stuff, and just boring and unoriginal." And I was like, So obviously I blocked the guy or gal. I don't know. But you know, the thing is I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I mean, you guys, I just bring you on to my practice. And it kind of turned into something. We got a little bit of a community going here. People ask me questions, and, you know, I play from what makes me money. So it's pretty interesting that someone who has nothing on their channel, there was no videos on the channel, and had been a member of that platform for 6 years. So obviously it's a keyboard warrior. But, you know, I mean, I've had classical guitar players come on here and criticize me. I've had jazz players come on here and criticize me. That's fine. I mean, I'm the person who believes you go fly your flag up the pole and see who salutes it. And, you know, you can take Andre Segovia and Neil Young and put them together. Andre Segovia is the better guitar player, but Neil Young has outsold Andre Segovia by leaps and bounds. So, you know, the sad thing is I know some great jazz players. I got a buddy, Adam, who is a fantastic jazz player. My buddy Joe Evans is another one, fantastic jazz player. Same thing with classical. I know several classical players. They're fantastic people. And even they'll say you can't fill an arena with it. So, you know, so my boring little 3-finger stuff, yeah, that's what it does. Okay. I'm trying to lower the action on my acoustic, and it barely did anything. Okay, so you need to take that to a luthier. Um, Ask around in your local area who a good guitar luthier is. When it comes to acoustic guitars, don't mess around with that. Let a pro deal with it. I've got that acoustic right there is a Martin D28. I love the sound of it, but it's just a little too much for my hands, and it's got light gauge strings on it, so I'm gonna have mine lowered. So yeah, you know, find somebody you can, in the guitar community in your area, and look for a guitar luthier. That's the best piece of advice. I don't even like. I'll do some action adjustment on my electrics, um, but I won't. I won't do anything on the acoustics. You're talking wood and glue and some of that stuff. So whereas here we got screws that we can adjust tension with, and it's not the same. There's neck, and depending on if you've got a truss rod, if you don't have a truss rod, um, sanding down the bridge, saddle. There's some things that it would be. I mean, I won't even tackle it on my acoustics. So, yeah. So I hope that answers your question. I mean, you could get on YouTube and find some videos, I'm sure. But man, when it comes to your acoustics, and especially if you've got a real nice one, like say, hey Tom, if you've got a real nice acoustic, or if you've got a, just look for a luthier. I mean, I'm the guy that will sit and play a bazillion guitars and go, this one's got the action I want. So how I got that D28 was gifted to me. Did you go to a smaller gauge string, like a light gauge or an extra light? If you're not performing, well, one, if you're performing, you're going to mic it. You woke up, oh man, you slept till 4 p.m. Well, I was just talking about somebody criticizing me on one of the platforms. It's like, he's 3-finger patterns. Just it's boring and unoriginal. And he said, "Oh, he's no guitar wizard." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's whatever." So, you know. Oh, I see your pick, Rabe. I'm gonna play it. Let me pull that song up for you. Who doesn't like a little Lemmy? And matter of fact, oh yeah, it's probably either a chicken picker, because I don't do a lot of chicken picking. Could be a jazz player. Could be, it could be a super shredder. I've ran into that with guys who, they worship Malmsteen. They worship, Petrucci. Matter of fact, I got a great shredder story. I was playing in this project in Atlanta, and we were trying to put together a group of musicians who could play kind of advanced level prog. But the thing was we were not trying to be Dream Theater. All right? So this was circa, say, I don't know, 2003, maybe 2002, somewhere around that area, maybe even 2004. So we were putting ads all around the Atlanta area looking for musicians to, we want a little bit of Yes, we want a little bit of Rush, we want a little bit of King Crimson, we want a little bit of Dream Theater. We're trying to put this amalgamation of styles together. And we went through and auditioned so many people. But anyway, I got a phone call one day from the drummer, and he goes, "You're not going to believe this." And I go, "What?" He said, "This guy just pestered me for 30 minutes. He's like, 'Look, I'm your guitar player.'" And he goes, "No, I've got a guitar player." And he goes, No, you don't understand. I'm your guitar player. And he goes, what are you talking about? He goes, I play like John Petrucci. He goes, well, that's great, but we're not looking for John Petrucci. He's like, yeah, but you don't understand. I play like John Petrucci. And he goes, well, that's great, but we're not looking for John Petrucci. We were looking for somebody original, and we've already got our guitar player. He goes, you don't understand, right? And so he keeps going back and forth with our drummer, and the drummer finally said, listen, man, call somebody else, and he hung up on him. I said, did you get his name? And he goes, yeah, it was one of my guitar students. He had no idea he was calling the project that I was a part of, trying to bump me out of it because he was a great player, great shredder, but he was a little full of himself. And so he come into his lesson, and I said, so how's your week been? He goes, man, I found this ad for a band, and it sounded perfect. I said, really? He goes, yeah, they were looking for, he said, they didn't say they were looking for a guitar player, but they said, they were looking for a keyboard player and a vocalist and a bass player. And he said, man, they were listing off all the right bands. And I was like, really? Yeah. And they said, did you call him or anything? He goes, oh, yeah, I did. He said, dude, I was on the phone with their guy for 30 minutes, their drummer trying to tell him, he's like, look, man, I play like Petrucci. And he goes, what did he say? And he said, we already got a guitar player. And he goes, yeah, but you don't understand, I play like Petrucci. And he goes, did you ask him who the guitar player was? And he goes, no. And I said, because it was me. And he goes, what? And I said, yeah, you were talking to my buddy Sean, weren't you? And he goes, yeah. I said, dude, we're not going to be Dream Theater. Sorry. It's just not going to happen. That's not what we're going to do. So, that's kind of the quick little story with that. But I've had run-ins with all kinds of players, and it could be somebody who, might have come in and said, hey, play Hangar 18, and I wouldn't do it, or play Cannibal Corpse, and I wouldn't do it. Hey, man, Vila, and Rate the Rock, welcome in. Woo, you guys. So you just never know. I mean, I'd see them from stage. Let's say I'm up there playing. Here's a great story for you guys that are maybe starting out playing and doing live shows. So one of my first shows in my town, I had went and played in other towns, and it didn't bother me. But when I started playing here in town, I was playing in my first band, and all these guitar players that I knew were showing up. And I was sitting there playing. If I had the slightest little mess up, they'd all point, and they'd kind of giggle, and it got under my skin. And so I was sitting outside while we were on break, and I was kind of lamenting. I was pissed off. I was throwing stuff. I was like, these blankety blanks, they come in here, and they're criticizing me, blah, blah, blah. And the singer come over and grabbed me, and he shook me a little bit. And he's like, dude, what's your problem? And I'm like, oh, all these guitar players in there, and every time I mess up, they're over there pointing and laughing. He goes, how many of their shows you been to? And I go, none. He goes, right. He said, I'll tell you this. He said, that's the most guitar players I've ever seen amassed at one place to see somebody local. And I went, oh, yeah. He goes, and another thing. I go, what's that? He goes, they paid to get in. And then I got a big grin. And then after that, I was like, if I messed up, I just kind of grinned. I was like, you paid to get in. So, all right, enough talk. What was he? No, my neighbor let me borrow. It's his Ovation, and his action is way better. Okay. Yeah, I would take yours to a luthier. John, I put a song request for you to add to Discord. It's Rooster or Comfortably Numb. I want to do Rooster. And I wouldn't mind doing Comfortably Numb. So yeah. Hey, let's talk some more after I play some songs here. We got two. And oh, by the way, if you're out there watching and you want to pick a song, if you're on TikTok, just go to the profile, click the one link there. It's like the second option. For everybody else that's not on TikTok, you'll see a link right here. Click it, and that'll take you, or go to that page. It's like the second. You just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see it'll say to request songs. All right, let's go. Uh-oh, hang on. It's not coming through the system. Oh, rookie move. Should hear some popping noises. Woo! Can you play? Do I want to know? But I don't have that one. Sorry. I've got a bunch of songs that's coming. Like I've got like a ZZ Top song that's coming, and I got a Rolling Stones song coming. They're just not ready yet. All right, let's see if that fixed it. There it is. Thanks for the follow. Got 2. All right. There it is. Yes. Let's see. What did I miss on the comments here? Great song, Motorhead, Ace of Spades, 1 and 2. Good. Oh yeah, I would like to do Eat the Rich. I always liked that song. Dun 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 dun. Come on, baby, eat the rich. Iron Horse is another great one. Let's see. I already addressed the Arctic Monkeys. Let's see. The screen. Okay, that was just instructions. Okay. All right, let's see if I can. Hey, thanks for picking this one. I haven't played this one in a hot minute. Although me and Sarah's fixing to have a couple more shows booked here soon. So I talked to a guy tonight, and he asked for some dates. So they are coming. Let's see. Here we go. So I got to freshen up on some of these I'll play with her. All right.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line, engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up.
This was a different song.
Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down. The flags get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup, but he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance. and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. No trophy, no flowers, no flashbulbs, no wine. He's haunted by something he cannot define. Bone shaking earthquakes of doubt and remorse assail him, impel him with muscle truck force. In his mind, he's still driving, still making the grade. She's hoping in time that her memories will fade, cause he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. The sun has gone down and the moon has come
Track
up.
is loud.
And long ago somebody left with the cup, but he's striving and driving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. Cause he's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in the time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance.
Got off.
He's going for speed. He's going the distance.
Is that better after I adjusted it? That's the reason why I popped my ear out so I could hear what you guys are hearing. Oh. Ooh. You can't hear it still? You can now, but what about when the music's going? So if I back up the distance a little bit. What about now? All right, let me check. Let me switch speakers right quick. This should fix it. Let me see here. Boop. Oh gosh, yeah, I see it now. I think I see it. Back it up to the same spot. Yeah, on your platform it is. TikTok's on a separate mix. So you guys just bear with me a second. That should be it. All right. Yeah, everything's low over here. Let's try that again. Same spot. All right. Good. We got it. That's it. Thanks for letting me know. Because everybody else is on one mix except for TikTok, because I have to keep them separated because that platform doesn't play well with others. So, all right. Now, let's see what we got. This one's been a hot minute too, so I'm going to pull up some notes. Just to be on the safe side. So, yeah, I added this. I added this one pretty quick. So, it was about a month ago. I added it and I played it like a couple of 3 or 4 times in a row, and then nobody requested it anymore. I thought, well, I'm either messing it up or they just forgot about it. So, but of course, then I've had the kind of crazy sporadic with people coming in too. So let me just take a quick gander to make sure I remember this. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. We're going to try it. So, you get me, flaws and all, and I don't claim to be perfect, never have. Okay. Ha! That's the sheet music. Here we go. This is more like it. Where's my track? There we go. Try that again. 'Cause that's a fun song. Thank you, Moto. Woo. Hey, you guys over on the TikTok, we're going after, what is this? I think it's 2026 celebration pin or GIF. I think it's like a pin, a penny. All right. So where are we at now with the list? Oh. Here's another one. Let's see if I remember to play this one. I think it's F sharp. Let's see. We'll know in a second.
Oh, I heard you crying loud all the way across town.
Thanks for the road.
You've been searching for a time when I need me out on the prowl. As you sit around feeling sorry for yourself. Well, don't get lonely now. I try your way nice. I'm just roaming for the moments, losing my back. Yes, I don't catch. So what type you been thinking about each and me? No time to search the world around.
We got the
You
chorus.
know where I'll be found when I come around. Oh, I heard it all before. So don't knock on my door. I'm a loser and a user, so I don't need no accuser to try and slay me down because I know you're right. So go do what you like. Make sure you do it wise. You may find out yourself that means nothing was ever there. You can't go forcing something if it's just not right. No time to search the world around. 'Cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. No time to search the world around. 'Cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. When I come around. When I come around. When I come around.
Oh, there we go. Yes, feedback from a computer. Oh, sweet home with Alabama. John is yes, it's called Blue Sky. Yes, and I was I've got another song called Paradise of Shadows. Oh. But I was trying to play that riff. I've got to get that one recorded, but it's tabled because the next song is a deeply emotional song for me. I wrote it during a very stressful, dark period in 2019. About 2019. I wrote it recently, but and you know, I really think it's I think it's I think I got something with it. I mean, because the idea is to connect with people, right? When I do these Guitar Wizard song, that's a fantasy. It's a Paradise of Shadows is a story about a couple who are entrapped by a genie in the desert, and the genie turns the lady into a grain of sand, and he flicks her into a vast desert. And the husband is tasked to comb the desert to look for one particular grain of sand. And he can feel her essence, so he knows he's close to her, but he's just constantly picking up pieces of sand looking for her. So that's the intro kind of riff. So that one will probably be number 2. Although I want to do the song "Tales from Utopia," which there's a little bit of it on my TikTok channel. If you scroll down, you'll see me. It's like, hey, I got a intro solo I want you to hear, and I play a little bit of it. But I haven't. I only really recorded that part. So, all right. So we're gonna do some. What's going on with my volume? Oh, it had slid off the carpet. Okay, let's do this next song. And by the way, you guys on TikTok, remember tapping is clapping. Everybody else, if you're out there, if you don't really want to say anything to the chat, throw emojis up, because when we throw emojis up, we get this really cool effect, like this, and bam, you'll see them bounce around the screen there. I think it looks really cool while the song's going on, and that way you're interacting with me. So that's one of, you can request a song, you can jump in the chat, make a comment, or you can blow up the the emojis. Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, that's the wrong sweet song. It's on a different set list. Where's that set list? I picked the wrong set list. There we go. Bam. Woo. Got to switch guitars for this next one. Here, have a tune. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out with me tonight. All right, so let me just quickly make sure I'm tuned, because I forgot to set the heat to come on today, and the temperature dropped about 30 degrees today here in the Tennessee Valley. And needless to say, it was a little cold in the old studio. All right, that sounds like it. All right, so you guys, if you haven't, yeah, I mean it's below freezing right now. Luckily, no moisture in the air here. So you guys, if you're not aware, this is an original I wrote called Blue Sky. Stemmed from a conversation I was having, and somebody was talking about the holiday season. They're just like, sometimes I dread the holidays, but this year I just kind of got this good feeling about it. I said, really? I said, well, your blue skies on the horizon. Hi, Klaus. And so as soon as I said those words, I was like, that's a lyric. And I come out here to the studio, started noodling around with words and noodling around with the computer, wrote the riff, and started putting some structure to get it. And then I used a computerized drum and computerized vocal, and this is what's come out. So yeah. And I sing along with it, but anyway, this is my tune called Blue Sky. Woohoo! while since I played that one. I love that song. It's kind of a hopeful song. I've actually toyed about writing another verse for it, and just making it a little bit longer. So I don't know, but I like it. It's just it jams. It's got this, just like this to it, but yet, the lyrics are hopeful, and that's the goal. So thanks, Rate the Rock, for requesting that. I appreciate that. Although now, how many here has actually heard the other one that I had pretty well mostly recorded till I sent it off for drum tracks, and I still haven't got my drum track. The one it went where I had the narrator. So I have a song called King of Utopia, and I've been waiting on drum tracks, and I think I'm going to computerize the drum tracks just because the guy that I sent them to do it, I sent it to two different drummers, and neither one of them, one's got an arm injury, the other one life happened to, and so he's tied up with that stuff, and so I don't have my King of Utopia, and so I did Blue Sky without anybody else, so I'm going to have to, I think I'm going to do that, but I'm going to re-get that one redone. I would just probably have to end up doing the computer thing so I can get that one out too. And then I've got my country rock song. So Rate the Rock, thank you so much. Thank you for being always in here just helping out, telling people what they can do with requesting and stuff. Thank you for requesting Blue Sky. I appreciate that. You go have a great night, evening, day, whatever. You're in Texas, right? You're out in Texas, so give them a Texas size, hey, howdy, hey for me out there. Listen, I got to get back out to Texas because a buddy of mine, I went to Houston, and he told me, he's like, man, if you're coming to Texas, you got to have brisket. And I'm like, yes, I want to have good Texas brisket. So he took me to this place in Houston. It was supposed to be legendary. It was awful. And even he said, man, I'm sorry, you cannot judge Texas by what that crap we just had. So, and now, of course, I left the next day, and I didn't get to go have brisket. So I want to go have good Texas brisket. So I've had St. Louis. I've had Memphis. I never was big on dry rub, but that St. Louis stuff was pretty good. Ate at Pappy's in downtown St. Louis. That is an endorsement, by the way, for Pappy's. If you're ever in St. Louis, go to Pappy's and have some. All right, what are we in the mood for, y'all? See, somebody asked for, what was it earlier? Comfortably Numb, and there was another one, Rooster. And I'm going to do Rooster. It's Rooster and is on the short list. Which is funny. I was in this band, and we were going to do it. And, hey, thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Dribble? Is that right? Am I seeing that right? And can you play some blues? Yeah. Let me think. What have I got that's bluesy? I got some blues. The band I'm playing with, we're doing Come On Part 3, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I got to get a track for that. I really dig that. And I actually created, you guys tell me what you think, guitar players out there. I've never been one to do Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff. And just because people get, if you don't do it perfectly. But I created a Stevie Ray Vaughan sound. I got to get it on the right pickups. So that's the sound I'm using for Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff. Let me see. What have I got? How about, let me see if I can find a track for this. How about ZZ Top? See if I can yeah, let's see if we can do that one. I've never done this on the stream, so now let me just see if I can find a track for it. So this is something I'm playing with the new band, and so let me see if I can dig up a track right quick. Because I know there is one. I'm trying to think what other bluesy stuff. I got Whipping Post I can do too. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So let me now I don't think there's any rhythm guitar in this, so I kind of have to do something similar to the like the live. Yeah. So, let's see if this don't
What if
play
you
any-
could clean your
of course
retainer
It
at the-
played an ad. So, let me get past the ad. kind of murdered that guitar solo, but yeah, that's the idea anyway. I need to put that into the regular rotation because I've got to
Cole,
get that.
he's
Oh, no more ads. Got to get that one ready for a show in a couple of weeks. So, all right. So we tackled that one. What is? How about here? Let's do this one. Here's another bluesy one. Now I'm kind of in a bluesy mood. I had to create special patches to play this one. So, all right. Here's one for you. If I can, hang on a second. Where did I put it? Ow! I hit my finger. Well, that's no good. Oh, there it is. Got a little too hot in here. I've already played Motorhead. Man, sorry. All right. So here's a little Allman Brothers for you. Waffle, what's up? How are you? Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. So let's see. Let's do a couple more, and we'll wind her down. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And may I say, I am quite fond of waffles. We have another person that comes in here, Waffle Girl. So I don't know if you know Waffle Girl. You need to look her up on TikTok. She's awesome. She comes in every now and then and hangs with us, so I appreciate it. What do I want to do now? What do I want to do? How about since I'm on this set, let's okay. Let's see. Do I have any on this one? I don't. So let me switch over. Okay. You asked for it. Oh, by the way, you Kiss fans, I got another Kiss song coming too. I'll give you a hint. It goes. That's all you get of it right now. I'll have that one tracked here soon. So, all right. Let's do this one. Thanks for the follow. Heard something interesting, guitar players out there. So on, I think it was, oh gosh, who was it? I think it was it Philax maybe that was talking about this? I started at 6, but dropped it, picked it back up at 14. So, yeah. So on the song "Running with the Devil." Okay, I think it was Philax. There's a short you can talk about it, but Eddie Van Halen detuned his B string just enough. See, when you play a D, those two strings, they sound a little dissonant. Just a slight tune to get that sound. So, just a slight detune on that. And I ran so far away. Do you know that was, I saw something on that song the other day, too. It was like, they didn't expect it to be a hit. Matter of fact, it was kind of like a throwaway song. Sort of like, and isn't it funny? Throwaway songs end up being hits. Like, for instance, Paranoid from Black Sabbath, they had to come up with a 2-3 minute song just to fill out the album. And Paranoid, which was huge. Oh, no, I don't think so, because I can still see myself. But now that you said that, let me do a quick check. So we're checking on one platform. It says that it's being weird. All right. So if you hear myself echo, pay no attention. Nope. I'm transmitting. So maybe refresh your browser or whatever you're watching me on. So I am on TikTok. I am on Twitch. I am on Kick. I am on Rumble. I am on BitChute. I am on X. I am on... That's it tonight. Oh, yeah, that's it. Kick, Twitch, Rumble, BitChute, TikTok. So, all right. What are we in the mood for, y'all? What are you guys in the mood for? You want something more modern? You want something more classic rock? So, we just talked about an 80s song. How about an 80s song? Yeah, I got that. Let's do, here's one we haven't done in a hot minute. So, let's do this one. Oh. When I was talking about Van Halen, I didn't quite get back to tune. I went way too flat. Here we go. Woo! Now you can see me. Well, it's good to be seen, right? Tanya, where are you watching from? You in the U.S. or are you outside the U.S.? If you're in the U.S., what state are you watching from? If you're outside the U.S., what country? I know we had Rate the Rock was in. He's in Texas. Waffle, where are you watching from? Y'all can answer while I play. Wow. went into another song. I was like, what song is that? It didn't pop up in my ears. Anyway, so, that's Rosewood, yes. Well, I've been playing AC/DC. AC/DC was the first band I really liked. Matter of fact, I think the first song I learned went, let's see. And it was like, it was, I'm going Sin City. That was probably the first AC/DC song I learned. But really, the band that the person that kicked me off wanting to play guitar was John Fogerty. There was a video on MTV, and it showed this guitar chord going through the swamp, and it had this riff like. And then the little guitar solo went. So. This is a song called The Old Man Down the Road. Now, funny story, or it's not a funny story, it sucks, but he got sued for plagiarizing himself. Now, I'll say that again. John Fogerty got sued for plagiarizing himself by CCR, the record label. Yeah. That's the reason why he kind of disappeared there for a while. He was bitter about the whole music industry. So I think it was he remarried, and I guess the new wife pushed him, gave him nice little pushes to go dip your feet back out there. Yeah, that's some of the crappy stuff about the music industry. And I've worked in the music industry with a major label, and it's not fun. I have no desire to ever go through that with them. I saw what they did to the kid that I played for. Promise you the world, make you an indentured slave. So your better chance of being independent, especially now with the internet. I mean, back in the day when I was trying to make it with bands and stuff, you had to, major label was it. Some friends of mine actually got a meeting with the head of Artista Records. And they went up there, and their idiot manager stuck his foot in his mouth with this guy from the record label. They said, we're either going to sign you to a 3-album deal, or we're going to put you in artist development. And the guy goes, we're not interested in artist development. He said, thank you very much for flying up here. We'll talk soon. And that was the end of the meeting. Yeah, there you go. I bet that was a fantastic show. So, dude's still out there cranking it. I saw you guys that like classic rock stuff. Did you see the thing that obviously the big news out of Canada is Rush, going back out, but also Triumph is getting back together, and they're going to go out and do some select shows. Which in my town, I didn't even know Triumph existed until I was out in Texas, and I was listening to a classic rock station out there, and I'm like, what is this? I've never heard this song. And it was Lay It on the Line or Magic Power, one of those two. And I was just like, oh, my gosh, this is awesome. And so I became a Triumph fan. Anyway, but the bands, John Fogerty was the guy that got me playing guitar. So I learned that little riff from a guitar guy. I had one lesson with him, never had a second lesson because could never find him. And then the second one was Fleetwood Mac. So I was a big... I never did get that kind of Travis picking he does down. But there are some Fleetwood Mac songs I really dig. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, let's play a Fleetwood Mac song. How about that? This is the only one I got.
You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep it down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. Listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost, what you had and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You know. Now here I go again. I see the crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself.
Nope.
It's
Tennessee.
only me who wants to wrap around your dreams. And have you any dreams you like to say? Dream of loneliness, like a heartbeat driving mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost. And what you had, ooh, what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining.
That's right.
Players only love you when they're playing. Say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. You know. You will know. Oh, you know.
Ooh. All right, let's do a couple more, and then I'm going to get out of here for the evening. Since we've been talking about 80s, I got one for you. Great music, great cars, great bikes, great food, awesome nature, and so on. Yeah, I live in a pretty outdoor friendly area. As a matter of fact, I live on top of a mountain, so I don't have the view, but the cliff is just right over the hill there. So, can I get a Hotel California? I'm working on it. It's on the short list, but there's like a bazillion guitars in the track. So, but it is coming. But I tell you what, if you go on to my TikTok, if you go onto my profile on TikTok and you scroll down, there is a video of me playing Hotel California at a festival. So we did the acoustic version. So anyway, I was going to play an 80s thing. So let's see. How about, you can't get more 80s than this. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Be sure to follow me.
You feel my heat just a moment behind. In touch with the ground, I'm on a hard time after you. Sometimes I'm lost and I'm found, and I'm hungry like the wolves. So on a night, is this going right? I hold and I whine, I'm after you. Mouth is alive, or running inside, and I'm hungry like the wolves. Hungry like the wolf. Hungry like the wolf. Hungry like the wolf.
Awesome. Let's see. Back then, they really made music. They didn't go into the studio for sampling a bag of rice falling to the. Yes, there is something to be said about that process back in those days. Those days, though, it was stressful. I've only recorded on tape, actual, like the 2-inch tape in a big studio, just a handful of times, and then everything else was digital. But you know, I just remember watching the guy cut tape for an edit, and I'm like, whoa, he's actually cutting the tape, and it was a big deal. You know, so and you look at what the Beatles did with 4 tracks, and I saw a thing. If you guys haven't followed Rick Beato, oh my gosh, he interviews David Gilmour, and he talks about Abbey Road being, you know, 4 tracks and then going to 8. And it took them so long to go to 8 that David Gilmour goes, you know, I heard about this thing. They're going to come out with 16 track. He's like, oh, we'll never need that. And they went to the 8, and then 6 months later, they were tearing it back out to put a 16 and a 24 track in. So, I mean, it makes it easier. It's like if I want to copy, if I'm going to do a song like Blue Sky, so I just, you know, once I got the chorus like I like it, I just cut it and put it there, you know. Yeah, wow, 16 now, you know, with Studio One, I've got unlimited number of tracks as long as my computer power can handle playing them all. I generally, let's see, on one of these songs that I play, I want to say is I Think I'm in Love, is there's like 7 guitar parts in that. And Hotel California has, you have the acoustic guitar, you have a 12-string guitar, you have a electric rhythm, then you have the harmony guitars that kick in during the verse, and then you have the solos, the solo guitar and the solo harmony guitar that they're trading back and forth part. So, yeah, I mean, I could just grab stems and just use what's on there, but I don't like the sound of it. Like, I got the stems for Reeling in the Years because I really want to play that song, and when I listened to the guitars on it, I was like, I've got to redo all those guitars. They're terrible. They're terrible sounding. And it's not the original, obviously, because you can't use the original. These are stems that have been created for people to use for covers and stuff. Yes, they're onboard reverb. Oh yeah. Well, and I've got to play a couple of things that of vintage gear that I've gotten to play on before. I've got to play on a Mellotron before, although I'm not a keyboard player. I mean, I know how to play some chord stuff. And yes, when I had real long hair, and then I got to play with an Echoplex, an original Echoplex. And that was cool. And I just sit there and I just remember reading stories about how Brian May took a broomstick and put a nail on it so he could extend how long the tape would run the echo. So it's just the crazy. I mean, these guys back in the day, they're a little bit of mad scientist. There's a video out right now of Paul Gilbert. He took like an Ernie Ball volume pedal, I believe is what it was, and he ran it to another box so that he could control the knob on another pedal with his foot. So yeah. I never did anything. I never got to see anything like in my time in big studios and stuff. Never saw anything where they put, you know, an amp speaker way down the hall to get a specific. I mean, they had, you know, by then they were using rack gear for reverbs. They were using like TC Electronics, like PCM 42s, 41s, 42s is what I remember. So yeah, yeah, exactly. You just. Well, you know, I saw that interview. I think it was on Howard Stern when Steven Tyler was on talking about when they did Sweet Emotion. In the beginning of it, he hits that percussion effect, and you hear it break. Oh yeah, TC Electronics, man. I wanted those reverb units so bad because I saw Steve Morris use them, and it's funny. So the night I met Steve Morris was a big change for me, as to understand that there was more to guitar than AC/DC. And then a couple of years later, he come back and did another guitar clinic at our store, and he helped me design my first guitar rig. I mean, it wasn't like he sit down with a piece of paper and said, hey, I told him, I was like, I'm trying to build my first rig, and I'm kind of modeling it after yours, but dude, I can't afford those TC Electronic reverbs. And he's like, get a quadriverb, He said, get you a quadriverb, get you I think the other one was a MIDI verb. He's like, get the MIDI verb or a quadriverb. And I told him what I was going to do, and he was totally like, "Yeah, man, that's cool." Obviously I wasn't using amp heads like he did, but when I was playing with this one rock band, they hated me for this. But I used to carry 2 412 cabinets for shows. Now this is back in circa 91, 92. Yeah, MIDI verb was, I think, the predecessor to quadriverb. So I carried 2 412 cabinets. One was a wet dry mix, was just a dry mix. The other one was a wet mix. And I didn't have the heads. What I had was a power amp that ran to the 2 412 cabs, and I used a Digitech twin reverb. Or a twin tube, excuse me. And out of that, I went into a little mixer, a rack mixer, and I had a quadriverb, and I had a Digitech. I ended up getting a Digitech TSR something like 24. So I had 2 different reverbs, and then I had a guitar synth in there. And so what I had on the floor was I had the controller for the twin tube, and all it would do was just clean and dirties. That's all it did. Didn't use any of the effects on it. And then I had volume pedal was a master volume pedal. Volume pedal number 2 was a short reverb. Volume pedal number 3 was a long reverb. And then volume pedal number 4 was a synth. I'm missing one. I had one more volume pedal in there. So I used 5 volume pedals, and I love that setup. I would still use that setup. It was just too much to carry around for quick gigs. There's nothing like, I cannot describe what it's like when you're standing on stage, say like you're playing an acoustic part. It's completely dry, and then you just start fading in reverb, and you hear it go out over the crowd. Or if I'm playing a clean part on the guitar, and then I fade in the guitar synth. I mean, I was using the same guitar synth that he used back then. It was a Shadow. Looked like you had a cell phone on your guitar because it had a keypad, and I just typed in the number, and bam, I had my patch. And I loved that thing. It tracked pretty well. Until one day I was just like, man, this is just too much stuff. When I had a roadie, that was one thing. But when I didn't have roadies, I was like, man, this is too much. Or a guitar tech, this is too much stuff to hook up. If I ever got the chance to go back and be a headliner where I had somebody who was dedicated to doing that, oh yeah, I'd totally go back to the volume pedals, having all the volume pedals. The 5th volume pedal went to acoustic guitar. That's what it was. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and for me, people's like, how did you get to where you used all these effects? Well, I couldn't afford Boss pedals back when I first started. I got my first guitar, my first used guitar, and it was a Gibson SG. People would kill for a Gibson SG now, but I bought this. I was like, oh, it's an old SG I bought for $400. And I've had people offer me $2,000 for that guitar now. But I used my curly cable out of my guitar, and it went into an Arion distortion pedal. And then out of that, it went into an Arion chorus, and I had an Arion flange, and I had an Arion digital delay, and then I had a Rockster or something like that. All these different, they were not good pedals. They were cheap. I didn't get my first Boss pedal, and I think it was a digital chorus was the first one I got. And then I got a Metal Zone when I was trying to do metal back in, I don't know, 89, 80, 88, 89. Couldn't afford a Marshalls. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely true. When you see these guys on stage and they've got like a fleet of Marshalls behind it, that's the luggage. That's where their clothes are. The backs open up and you hang your clothes up in them. Yeah, it's just they're completely empty. So, like it's like somebody like AC/DC, you see all those speakers and stuff. They're just now a lot of them are just digital screens. They're not even real amps. Like when I saw Megadeth open up for Iron Maiden a few years ago, it looked like speakers on stage, and then they started showing videos on them. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, there was a guy here in town. I can't remember the band he was in, but he used to carry like, I want to say 2 or 3 Marshall full stacks to play in a club, and it was just like, wow, that is just too much. Oh, great story. So I was the guy that as soon as I got out of high school, I went and started playing music on the road, playing with bands and stuff. So I didn't go to college until after I was in a break. And so I went off and did some college classes. Well, one of the classes, and I was already a guitar teacher at this point that I went. I had to take a music composition or maybe it was music appreciation. It's music appreciation. They make all people taking a music appreciation class, which is mostly numbers, it's dates, and it's history more than anything. But you had to attend some concerts, and you had to write a report on it. Well, typical me, I was more interested in playing music, and I didn't go to any of the concerts. And then like a week or two before, I was like, oh, crap, I got to find things to go to. Well, I went to the college's jazz band. Now, this is a 2-year technical college. This wasn't like a big university. I went to the jazz band concert. And it was really good. The guy that was over it played piano, and he come out there and he starts playing select pieces from the Peanuts, and he did a really good job. In the horn sections, they were good. There was a guy up there playing like a jazz chorus, and he was a jazz guitar player. He was really good. But there was a Marshall full stack on stage. Now, so you're hearing all these, fake book jazz tunes, right? And there's this kid up there, and he's playing like, I want to say he had like a BC Rich. And he's got his BC Rich. He's got his Marshall stack on stage. And he's just sitting there listening. And it's like, I think he's got a solo. And I see him working his volume and stuff. And he's working his volume pedal. And he goes back to the amp, and he keep monkeying with stuff on it. And he's like, ting, ting, ting. And he's like, yeah, he's getting ready. And then, I guess as his song started, he went back there and adjusted something else. And I kid you not, when he went and hit the volume on that amp, absolutely nothing came out. And he's just sitting there playing, looking horrified that nobody can hear him. And what happened was he went back there and inadvertently put it in standby. Let's see. Yep, Metal Zone. Let's see. That was the Boss Metal Zone. So today it's like my favorite bands don't leave me much. It's just an old guitar and an empty cabinet of them. Yeah, kind of. Well, especially if they're an opening act, because I can speak to doing a national tour as an opening act. You only got like 5-6 minutes to get on stage and be ready to go. So, we get there at 3:00. The headliner's already set up and done their thing. We get time to set up and play. It's the breakdown. Getting out of there. But most of the people I saw, there's still people playing pedals and doing a killer job with it in boutique amps, lots of Dr. Z amps and stuff. But I would say the majority of guitar players are either using a quad Cortex, I saw a couple of Helixes, or the Fractal. And that's what I use, the Fractal. I did see the smaller Fractals, but most of the time I saw like an FM9 like mine. Ibanez had the Tube Screamer. That was what you hear a majority of in the 80s, is they took the Marshall amp, distorted it, overdriven it, and then they turned on a Tube Screamer on top of it. That's the special. That's what I use in my setup. The amps that I'm using in my Fractal are an AC30 with a Tube Screamer, in conjunction with an Engel Powerball energy ball with a Tube Screamer. And that's it. Now, when I toured with one country artist, I took out a Fender Blues Deluxe and a Fender Twin Reverb with a couple of pedals, and I hated it. As a matter of fact, those tube amps failed on me more times than I can count. I only did 5 shows with that artist because I was helping her close out her tour before she went back into the studio, and they wanted me to play an amp on stage instead of using the pedal boards. I'm like, okay, but I've got this little Fender thing, and they didn't think it was loud enough. So the first show, they got me a vintage Fender Twin Reverb. It made it most of the way through the show and then crapped out on the last song. So I always just kept my pedal board up there, and I would have the Sandman run a line to it. And I was like, if this thing fails, I'm going to unplug this and plug this other cable in. And the second show, they gave me another Fender one, I want to say like a Blues Master maybe, and it failed. And then I was like, look, I'm just going to use, you can put whatever you want up here. You can put an empty thing up here because this is what I'm using. This, you got monitors. If it's not loud enough, turn them up. So, Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It's 9 minutes after 11, and I've got to get up early tomorrow. So, everybody, time for the Wizard's Blessing. So, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. You've been awesome as always. If your day is just starting, may you crush the day. If your day is just ending, may you sleep peacefully. May your days be filled with music, peace, and love. Be kind to one another. I pray that you each have all your dreams come true, and that in order for you to get those dreams, I pray that you don't hurt anyone. So be kind to one another, and I'll see you back here. No stream tomorrow night. We'll be back here on Wednesday. So good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.